So what you're about to discover is a story and a process from how I went from a broken down alcohol and drug addicted failure being well over $195,000 in debt to a financially free industry, what I call legend, who has accomplished things in the make money from home industry that less than 5 people in the world have ever done. Now when I say legend, I mean it in terms of more like a superhero with a secret identity. My name is Kimball Roundy, and chances are, up to this point, you've probably never heard of me. And there's a good reason for that. You see, my close friends call me Spider-Man because up to this point, I've been sort of the guy behind the scenes putting together some of the most powerful marketing systems that have ever existed. But I was never really me in the forefront or in the spotlight. It was more my quote-unquote super identity. But I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute. First, let me tell you the story about how I discovered my superpowers. About 6 years ago, I was in the deepest, darkest, and most depressed and hopeless stage of my life. This was me drunk and passed out under my desk about a year after having quit my job and started to work from home with my own internet business. I had just quit a high-paying corporate job, cashed in all my company stock, and jumped in with both feet. Was it a bad move? Well, judging by the picture on the previous slide, you might think it was, but in the long run, it was actually turned out to be one of the best moves of my life. But when a year had rolled around, and I had long since blown through all the money I got from my company stock, and had not come anywhere close to the millions of dollars I was sure that I was going to make in my business, it sure started to look like it was a pretty bad decision to me. Then, what many have called a tragic event changed my life forever. It was a 1 in 100 million chance life event that would have destroyed most people. It was the most empowering and life-altering experience of my life. It was the catalyst that set me on a new course that has brought me more struggle and pain than I'd ever had to live through up to that point. And in the process of pushing through it, I've experienced more growth, happiness, joy, fulfillment, and wealth than most people experience in a lifetime. No doubt about it was tragic for some, but for me it has been the greatest blessing of my life, and I'm not sure that I would change a thing if I had to go through it all over again. You see, for most of my life in 2006, I was a total wreck. I was failing miserably in my business. I was up to my eyeballs in debt. Our house was constantly in foreclosure. On multiple occasions, we literally had to hide our car from the repo man. We had stacks of unopened and unpaid bills literally piled 5 to 6 inches high on the kitchen table. I had gained over 100 pounds in a year. Rarely a day went by that I wasn't intoxicated on one form of substance or another. Obviously, all of that nearly destroyed my marriage. Things got so bad that it was a daily occurrence for me to call my wife a blankety-blank liar anytime she tried to tell me that she loved me. It got so bad that many times a day I asked her to please shoot me in the head and put me out of my misery. Oh, a little side note here. I have no idea where I would be today if she wasn't the strongest, most loving, understanding, and supportive person I've ever met. I certainly wouldn't be living the amazing life that I am with a fantastic marriage that is completely turned around, 2 beautiful kids whom all I get to spend as much time as I want. Back then, I was so lost that I couldn't even see any way out. There was no light at the end of the tunnel for me. Then it happened. It wasn't a light at the end of the tunnel, it was more like a freight train out of nowhere. Just shy of 6 years ago, on November 8th of 2006, according to all of the laws of science, I should have died. What started out as a laid-back fishing trip with my brother, his wife, and a friend turned deadly in an instant. At about 11 a.m., the wind began to pick up. By noon, there were 2 to 3 foot high white-capped waves. But the fishing was so great that we didn't even notice the waves and the wind. Seriously, it seemed like one of those Bugs Bunny cartoons I used to watch as a kid where the fish were literally jumping into the boat. I remember being in the front of the boat, and even though I was getting pounded by one wave after another splashing into the boat, I just thought to myself, man, I'm freezing, but this is awesome. That was until it hit me. I pulled in what ended up being my last fish of the day. I dropped it down into the bottom of the boat to take out the hook, and to my frantic surprise, the fish was swimming in the bottom of the boat. We were smack dab in the middle of the lake, 2 miles away from any shore. We turned the boat towards the marina in a desperate attempt to make it to shore, but within seconds, one wave after another came over the front of the boat, and then it was just simply gone. Hello, nice to meet you. Let me tell you, 41-degree water burns. It's not even possible to try and explain it. As we were being slammed by one wave after another, of course, frantically praying for any miracle that would get us out of this impossible situation, my friend Mike turned to me and asked, "Are we going to die?" But that's not what I heard. What I heard was God saying to me, "You've been asking your wife to shoot you in the head every day for the past year. Do you really want to die? Well, here you go. Here's your chance. I've served it up to you on a silver platter. The choice is yours." As I've been thinking back on that day, I've realized that right there is the most important and most powerful principle for you to understand and internalize. You always have a choice, no matter the situation or circumstance, period. I don't care if somebody's got you in a back alley and they're holding a gun to your head. You still have a choice about whether to just stand there, do what they say, let them shoot you, or fight. The choice is yours no matter what the situation. Internalizing and leveraging this principle will absolutely change your life forever, but only if you let it. Every minute of every day of your life is a choice. This very moment you are making a choice. Are you going to keep watching this presentation? Is this the best use of your time right now? In a few minutes, you're going to be faced with a vitally important choice. And just like my choice in the lake, your decision will chart the course for the rest of your life. Obviously, you know the choice that I made. I turned to my friend Mike and I said, "No, we're going to live. All we've got to do is just keep swimming." At that very moment, the scene from the movie Finding Nemo popped into my head, where Dory was singing to Nemo's dad, "Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming." And from that point on, until we reached the shore, those words were playing over and over in my head, and I kept reassuring Mike all along that all we had to do was just keep swimming. Being 2 miles away from shore, we had a long way to swim, and it took about 2.5 hours before we reached the shore, and we were swimming in 41-degree water. To help you understand the power of the choice that I made and the miracle that was created with it, I grabbed this chart from a website to illustrate how impossible it was for Mike and me to survive this event. First, understand that the water in that lake was 41 degrees. You see here that in water 41 degrees, we should have only been conscious for 30 minutes. And we're supposed to be dead in a max of 90 minutes. And yet, we were in the water for 2.5 hours. After being separated from Mike and myself, my brother, Stephen, and his wife, Catherine, passed away. But I lived. How could this be? Was it the power of my choice? An unshakable belief that it was my choice to live? The persistence to just keep swimming? Or perhaps divine intervention? Or providence? Or a miracle? Yes, for sure they all played a role in my survival and the success that I've experienced since then. Just like you'll need a bit of all of them in order to turn it all around and find success that you're looking for. So why have I told you all this? I just want to make you understand the power of choice. The choice I made to live and the empowerment that has come from it turned my whole life around. Every aspect of my life, from my marriage to my business, to my decision to be a daddy. Not just a father, just about any man can father a child. But the title of daddy can only be bestowed upon you by the child. The only way you're going to get that honor of being daddy or mommy is if you spend quality time and a lot of it with your kids. If you're working 40 plus hours a week, commuting 5 to 10, where are you finding any real quality time with your kids? That's the most valuable thing that I'm teaching you today. The choice that I made to live. The choice I made to just keep swimming. The choices I have made over the last 5 years have all shaped what my life is today. The choices you make every day are consistently and constantly shaping what your life will be like tomorrow and beyond. When you understand that the choice to be successful in your business is yours to make, there is no limit to what you can do. When you see where I came from and what I've been able to accomplish because of the choices I've made and the actions I've taken, should make you realize and make it perfectly clear that you can do it, no matter what, just like God told me in the lake. Along with what I've handed you today, I'm saying, here you go. The choice is yours. Do you want your business to succeed or fail? But you're going to have to make that choice. In a minute, I'm going to teach you the exact 7 steps that you'll need to follow to build a 6-figure business in the next 12 months or less. But if you don't make a choice right now to do whatever it takes to be successful, to just keep swimming until you make it, no matter what, then you should just drop off this call right now, because the rest of this presentation will be a complete waste of time for you. Once you've made that choice to succeed, like you've never thought possible before this moment, there are 2 things that you'll need in order to accomplish it. The first is knowledge. You'll need to know what needs to be done and exactly how to do it. The second is a system, a simple step-by-step process to follow, and the right technology to help you get it all done. Well, pat yourself on the back for making the choice to watch this presentation, because that's exactly what I'm about to hand you today. I've spent the last 7 years, both before and since the boating accident, building, improving, rebuilding, and perfecting internet marketing systems. I've perfected a formula. It's the exact, simple 7-step formula that I have used to build one online empire after another. Not only is it the exact process that I have used, it's the same 7-step formula that every industry leader has followed to get to where they are today. I'm talking everybody, all the big name gurus and leaders that you looked up to in the industry, from Mike Dillard to Dagan Smith, Jonathan Budd, Mark Hoverson, Fernie and Ray, Matt Lloyd, Brian Finale, Norbert Orlowitz, David Wood, Michelle Pescosolito, Ray Higdon, and all of the rest of the people that you look up to have all followed most, if not all, of these 7 steps in their own way. And now I'm going to reveal them to you. I've named this formula simply 7 Steps to 6 Figures. Exactly how to grow a 6-figure online empire in 12 months or less by following 7 simple steps that anyone can do, guaranteed. But first, why should you listen to me? Why should you sit up, grab a pen and paper, pay attention, and take furious notes as I reveal these to you over the next few minutes? Remember a minute ago when I said that I was an industry legend and that I've done things that less than 5 other people on the planet have ever done? Well, I'm referring to my greatest and most well-known system to date. It was called the Spiderweb Marketing System, and it was epic. With the Spiderweb Marketing System, I generated more than 600,000 team members and affiliates. As you can see from this exported membership chart, over 535,216 of them came inside of the first 8 months alone. There are only a handful of people in our industry who have built a team of more than 500,000 affiliates, and no one that I know of who has done it in 8 months or less. Through the Spiderweb Marketing System, I built a downline in my primary business of more than 31,000 people in 176 countries without ever talking to or selling a single one of them on it. And my team still continues to grow every single day, even though I haven't done anything with the Spiderweb system for more than 3 years. The Spiderweb system was everywhere. If you were in the make money online industry in 2008 to 2009, I can virtually guarantee that you saw it at one time or another. Do a search on Google or YouTube to get an idea. The last time I checked, there were more than 229,000 pages on Google about the Spiderweb system and more than 2,250 videos on YouTube about it, even though it's been shut down for more than 2 years. I'm not saying all of this to brag. I'm simply illustrating an important point. The easiest and most certain way to find success in this industry is to find someone who has actually done what you want to do or has what you want to have and do what they did. Shadow them, learn from them, follow their proven model, use their systems, because when you learn what they have learned and do what they have done, you will have the success that they have had. Having a successful home-based business is not magic. It's a science. And successful results can be duplicated over and over simply by following a proven formula. And over the last 7 years, I've proven my formula over and over again. And now I'm going to share with you the exact 7-step formula that I've outlined so you can do it too. And you're going to want to hold on tight because you're in for an exciting ride. You may not have already realized, but I've already revealed to you step number 1. And it is by far the most important step of them all. You need to make the choice. It's what I did facing a life or death situation in the lake, and it's what I've done every day for the last 6 years since then. Well, right now, this very moment, you need to make a decision. You are facing a life or death decision in your business right this moment. If you choose to believe that you can and commit to just keep swimming and not let anything stop you from getting to 6 figures in your business, you will make it, guaranteed. And if you choose to commit to follow the rest of these 7 steps, I can virtually guarantee that you will make it in the next 12 months or less. So what is it that you're going to need to do? Well, step number 2 is to become a trainee. You want to find a mentor with a proven system that you can plug into. You want to increase your knowledge because you're going to be able to leverage your knowledge later. You're going to master one thing, just one thing that they teach. For example, paid traffic or SEO or social media marketing, etc. Use their system, selling their product at first, to prove yourself and to them that you can do this. And then you want to define your own unique process or system that you can consistently duplicate. This is the things you want to learn as a trainee from a mentor. Get yourself to a system where you've mastered a skill and you start to insert a little bit of your own special sauce into it and get to the point where you can duplicate your results over and over again. Once you've got to a point where you can get consistent results from your new skill, you're ready to jump in to step number 3. Step number 3 is to become an apprentice. This is where you want to take the next step to co-brand yourself with your mentor. You can basically put up some capture pages, put up your own stuff where you start talking about, I learned this from so-and-so. So you're not just using so-and-so's system or the guru or mentor system. At this point, you're inserting yourself into the discussion and you're talking about how you learned this sort of stuff from your mentor. You're going to want to transition to creating your own front-end funnel product. So a 7-part training series that you're giving away for free to generate your own leads, 7 videos, 7-day newsletter, 12-day, whatever it is, you want to create your own front end that brands you instead of or in addition to your mentor. You're going to want to continue to market your mentor's product on the back end so that you can continue to make revenue and recoup your advertising cost, and then continue perfecting your skill and your success story. That's very important. You're going to want to begin to build your own following as a leader with your own list. You need to control your own leads. Then you want to compete if you can. Once you start to get a list, get into and start competing in contests and affiliate launches and things like that. Hopefully get to the point where you can hit some leaderboards, which will get you tons of exposure, build credibility for you in the industry, and get you on the radar of and create some IOUs with some of the top affiliates that you're doing the marketing for. Once you have perfected a duplicatable skill, created your own brand and your success story, and established some credibility, leadership, and a following, you're ready to move on to step number 4. Step number 4 is to become what I call an industrialist. You want to create your own product, your own service, or your own membership site. You're going to want to teach your mastered skill and tell your story to sell it. So this product that you're going to create is this skill that you have mastered. And the story that you're going to create and that you're going to sell on your sales videos or sales pages is your success story, exactly what you did with it and how you can teach them to do the same thing. You're going to want to, of course, continue to sell your mentors and other affiliate stuff as upsells to increase and generate some additional revenue. But generally, you're going to want to focus on driving traffic to your own product. And then you're going to want to drive traffic, track your conversion, split test, and optimize, and then drive more traffic, track your conversion, split test, and optimize, drive traffic, track conversion, split test, and optimize. This is the key to building out and growing a successful long-term business. Is you need to know if you spend X number of dollars, you're going to make Y number of dollars back, and you're continually improving the return on your investment to the point where you always know you're making more money than you're spending. And the only way you can do that is by driving traffic, tracking your conversions, setting up split tests, and optimizing and increasing your profitability. Now, if you want to fast track this process, you're going to want to do that through what I call R&D. And what I mean by R&D is not necessarily research and development. It sort of is, but what I like to call it is rob and duplicate. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. If I'm your mentor and you want to come to me and say, hey, I really like your capture page, obviously it's converting really well and you do a lot of work in split testing and optimizing, do you mind if I use your capture page and maybe just insert some of my own information? You don't need to reinvent marketing. You don't need to reinvent direct sales. You need to look around at headlines and bullet points and videos and email subject lines and email content and find stuff that's attractive to you, stuff that grabs your attention, and duplicate with your own story the stuff that you see around you that's working. That's how you're going to fast track or supercharge your results in step number 4. One of the biggest benefits of having your own product instead of just marketing someone else's is that you control the money and you have the ability to leverage it over and over again more quickly. You'll be able to get your cash back and spend it again on more advertising daily instead of waiting to 30 to 45 days for some other guru to pay out commissions before you can use it again. This is huge if you understand it. For example, let's say you have a $100 advertising budget on Facebook PPC. Assuming that you average 20 leads and one $20 sale for every $20 that you spend in advertising, which is actually pretty easy to do once you get rolling and split testing and optimizing. If you're selling some other's guru product instead of your own, you'll only get at best 50% of that commission. Some people pay up to 90%, etc., but those are rare and few and far between, and if they're converting well, I suggest you start with some of those instead of somebody who's just paying you 50%. But let's just say you get 50% of that $20 back, and you won't usually see any of that for 30 to 45 days. Now, if you're selling your own product, guess what? You get to keep the full $20, and you'll have it back in your account and ready to use once again once it has cleared your merchant account, usually within a couple of days. So let's do the math to illustrate the power of having your own product. If you got a marketing budget of $20 per day on advertising, that will give you $5 worth of advertising from your $100 advertising budget. Well, with the Guru's product, let's say you'll get 100 leads off of Facebook, which is sweet, but then that's it. You're stuck waiting 30 days or so, maybe as much as 45 days or more, depending on refund time frames and everything else, and you're at max only going to get $50 back from this before you can apply any of that towards marketing. So in that scenario, you get a total of 100 leads and $50 in commissions over the course of 30 to 45 days. And that's from that simple 5 days worth of advertising, $100 worth of ads. Now, if you apply that same $100 towards your own product, day number 1, you'll spend $20, you'll get 20 leads, and you'll get $20 cash that will clear your merchant account on day number 4. Day number 2, you spend another $20, you get another 20 leads, and you get $20 cash that will clear your merchant account on day number 5. Day number 3, another $20, another 20 leads, another $20 in cash that's going to clear your merchant account on day 6. Day number 4, you're spending $20, get 20 leads, $20 in cash that will clear your merchant account on day 7. And day number 5, you're spending that last $20 of that 100, getting 20 more leads and $20 more cash that's coming back to you by day number 8. So in this same 5 days, you've generated the same 100 leads. Sweet, good job. And you already have $40 in your bank account that you can spend on more advertising, and $60 more that'll be coming to you in a couple of days. If you take it to the next level and compound your advertising dollars, then on day 4 and 5, instead of buying $20 of advertising, you can take that 20 that you got back from day number 1 and day number 2, and add it in so that you get 40 leads and $40 back that will clear your merchant account on day number 7 and 8. If you continue to turn your money back into advertising daily for 31 days, you'll be able to leverage your $100 10 full times. You'll get a total of 1,000 leads, and you'll have $20 to $40 in advertising cash coming back to you that you can spend every single day. Which would you rather have after 31 days? 100 leads and $50 that you see at some point later on? Or 1,000 leads and a rolling advertising budget of $20 to $40 that continues to churn out massive amounts of leads and cash flow for you every single day? The same scenario applies, but on an even greater scale. When you compare your own product to directly market your primary opportunity, if you have one, unless you have an opportunity that pays you big commissions daily, you'll generally be stuck earning commissions as low as 10 to 20% or less. And again, you won't get it for 45 or more days. Once you understand this, it becomes very clear that in order to take your business to the next level, it's crucial for you to create your own product and begin to market yourself instead of your primary opportunity or other affiliate or guru products. And believe it or not, creating your product is a lot easier than you think. At this point, this is really all you need to grow a six-figure business. Just look at the math. If you're selling a $20 per month membership product, for say, and you just commit to that first $100 towards advertising, following the same math and optimizing it to the point where you're making at least one $20 per month sale for every $20 you spend on advertising, you can grow a six-figure business, which is $8,333 or more per month in just your first 7 months alone. That's just getting an average of 2 $20 per month memberships per day, adding up to a total of 417 memberships in 7 months. Spending that same $100 over and over again without ever compounding it more than once or putting in any additional advertising funds into the program. Now, of course, this is a perfect world with nobody who ever drops out of your program, which will always happen, but you can see even with like a 20% attrition rate over the course of a 90-day period of time, still inside of 12 months, you've easily built a six-figure business. But of course, if you want to supercharge your growth and get to six figures in a fraction of that time, then you're going to want to continue on to step number 5. Once you have created, tested, tracked, and optimized a product that you know is converting at a highly profitable level, you're ready for step number 5. Step number 5 is to become a tycoon, which means bringing on affiliates and JV partners to market your product for you. You're going to leverage, at this point, other people's money and other people's lists. Now, if at the beginning your skill that you learned was something like paid traffic, then you can do done-for-you co-op. This is huge leverage because essentially people are paying you to take their money and advertise your own product on their behalf. You're taking that human element out of the equation. You're not making them go learn paid traffic. You're saying, hey, while I'm teaching you paid traffic, guess what? I'd be more than willing to manage a marketing co-op for you and pay you 50% of the money that comes in. So you're getting people to pay you to market your own business with their money. That's called leverage of other people's money. Now, what you're going to want to do is leverage your existing customers that you've been generating up to this point and the leads that you've been generating up to this point as your first affiliates. If you can teach all your customers just to get 2 sales, then it becomes viral. 2, get 2, get 2, get 2 gives you viral exponential growth. Once you have proven your model with affiliates, making sure that it's going to convert at a high enough level, you can at this point begin to cash in your IOUs that you have with other leaders whose products you have been selling up to this point, starting initially with your mentor. And you're going to do this by doing major joint venture deals with them, getting people with massive lists, not just regular old affiliates, but someone like me who has a list of over 600,000 people. If I'm your mentor and you start doing great stuff with me and you start to get on my radar and you start to make me some money through affiliate contests, I'm going to sit up and take notice. And when you approach me about a joint venture deal, I'm going to be much more likely to say, yeah, let's talk. Let's see what you got. Show me your product. And if I like the value there and I send a message out to 600,000 people, you do the math on how that's going to work out for you. Now, once you have a large following and a dedicated member base and affiliates, you're ready to move on to step number 6. Step number 6 is to become what I call a mogul. as a mogul, you're going to want to expand your business into a full-blown system. What I mean by a system is a technology where the members have the ability to use it to generate their own leads. Now they're using your system not just as an affiliate where you're going to pay them some commissions, but you keep all the leads and you market to the leads that they generated for you. But in this scenario, you build it out into a full-blown system like the Spiderweb marketing system, where people can come in, they get to generate their own leads, they get to have their own leads go into their own autoresponder so that they can have control over them, that they can build an asset. And what that does is gives them the ability to leapfrog all the way to step number 3 of this process. Because now they don't have to build their own capture pages, they don't have to do all of that stuff. They can just go right to generating their own leads using your system. They're still branding you or co-branding you, but they're growing your business at the same time that they're leveraging it to start to generate leads and build their own. They become long-term dedicated members of the system, not just one-time affiliates. Now, once you have a system and a dedicated following of members and happy affiliates who are making money every time you throw stuff out there, you are ready to move on to step number 7. Now, in step number 7, I call this the 7-figure step, because at this point I've already showed you that it's pretty easy to get to 6 figures in your business if you followed all the steps up to this point. And with affiliates and JV partners, it can actually end up being much, much more than that. Maybe high 6 figures, maybe even getting to 7 figures before you get to step number 7. But with step number 7, you're going to create and roll out new products and new membership sites. This is what I would call rinse and repeat. You're going to rebrand, roll out new products, go learn new skills, teach new skills, roll out new products, teach more new skills, roll out new products. Maybe you're going to team up with other leaders and do joint venture products where you interview them, they interview you, you interview a whole bunch of people, and you're creating products because of the reputation that you have and the ability that you have to approach other leaders. You're going to do affiliate and joint venture launches like you see happening all around you. At this point, you've got enough of a following that you can do launches and contests even if you don't have a massive list, just with inside of your own internal list, to generate some massive action in the industry. And then once you get to the point where you really are linked in and tied into the inner circle of the leaders, that's when you can do these 6, 7, 8-figure launches that you see going on all around us every single month pretty much. Then you're going to want to rebrand and relaunch. So if you come out with a system or a product after a year or so, you're going to improve it, you're going to update the technology, you're going to update the training, and you're going to relaunch 2.0 or 3.0 or rebrand it as another type of system, the same type of thing under a new name. Back when I did this, I started from scratch back in 2005 with the Score at Will system. It was called Score at Will in Network Marketing. It was a free newsletter teaching this same sort of stuff, and a back end where I'll set up your Google ad campaign for you, because I had come from a background in the corporate world of working for a pay-per-click marketing company. I understood it, I knew how to leverage it, and this was back in 2005 when Google was brand new and traffic was cheap and easy, and I told people, hey, I know how to get traffic, I'll set it up for you. I sold my product for $30 a month, and in no time I was able to quit my full-time job, cashing out my company stock. And in the first year, I generated over 7,000 leads into my little system in just the first 12 months, and started with a few $1,000s of my own on Google Ads, and then from there just continued to buy Google Ads with other people's money. Then, after the accident and taking about a year off to sort of recoup and get my head straight, I rebranded with a better technology, just like I told you to do, leveraged the same leads that I had generated before, brought them in as affiliates, and launched a new product, which was called the Prosperity Freedom Builder. Again, it was all tied around, I know how to do Google Ads, same skill as in the beginning, and I'll do your marketing for you. In the next 3 months, I generated another 5,000 leads, spending other people's money, and made over $150,000 in 3 months from launching that system. Then, because of some complicated circumstances with my partner of that system, I was forced to branch off and rebrand again with my own system. And in 2008, I launched the Spiderweb marketing system. With the 12,000 or so affiliates and leads that I had from the previous 2 systems, bringing them in again and relaunching with a new brand, still selling Google Ads, and it grew virally from there to over 500,000 members in 8 months, and well over 7 figures in product sales and services online inside of 18 months. Every step that you need to build a 6-figure business in 12 months or less, guaranteed. For more training on the 7 steps to 6 figures, if you want to find out more about me or get on my list and learn what I'm up to, simply visit 7stepsto6figures.com. I haven't launched this yet. This is the first time I've given this presentation, so if you want to get on the list and be notified when I launch the actual, it's going to be a 7-part, or actually probably an 8-part webinar series. I'm going to interview a lot of industry leaders and other things like that. If you want to find out more information, watch some videos that I have put up about it, then go ahead and visit 7stepsto6figures.com.